Hi everybody, I'm here to report on yesterday's great 2-0 win up at Pittodrie for Rangers. And it really was a good win. I would say it was even better than last week's win at Ibrox against them. Much the same data, if you look at the stats. We double the number of shots at goal and on target than they did. So that's quite good when you're playing at Pittodrie. To be honest, I must admit, before this game, I didn't really think we would win, only for the reason that how often does any team play the same team within 4 or 5 days and win twice, unless it's a really inferior team. So after beating them at Ibrox last week, I didn't really hold out much hope for beating them again up at Pittodrie. So that was a really nice surprise that we did. Even better was the fact that it was one of these wild, wet, windy nights, as it turned out, up at Pittodrie. So that made it even worse. It's hard enough to beat them at Pittodrie, no matter what state Aberdeen's in. But in conditions like that, that was even better. That should have dragged us down to their level, but thankfully it didn't. That was one of the more positive aspects to this, that the old cliche, yeah, but can these foreigners play in a horrible Tuesday night up in Forfar or somewhere like that? Well, that was a good example that these guys actually did show they've got the mentality. Maybe Danny Rohl's psychology coach, or as they call him, the off-field performance director, or some fancy title, maybe he is making a difference, because they do seem to have got a bit more steel about them and getting stuck in, because they harassed Aberdeen, they pressed them high up the park, they chased them around, they tracked back, they got stuck in. Just everything you would want to see in a game like that. So well done to everybody. Nobody had a bad game, not even Tavernier. They had a few dodgy passes. So nobody had a bad game. They all performed the way we want them to in terms of mentality and strength, just getting stuck in. Diamandi actually won man of the match. Don't think I agree with that, but he was okay, or if not better than that. So he's turned around his form in the last 3-4 games, so well done to him as well. Chermiti, I thought, had another solid game, battling away. They all battled away and got stuck in and took the fouls that Aberdeen were happy to put on them. And of course the referee hardly booked any Aberdeen guys, and he let them away with some ridiculous fouls. Meanwhile, any time a Rangers player did a foul, it was yellow card out, so nothing changes there. So now, really good performance, especially in the conditions, so I was really pleased with that. Butland had 3-4 decent saves, nothing brilliant, decent saves, but they were from shots that were like 20 yards away, low shots, 20 yards away, more or less straight at him, apart from one that he had to dive and palm round the post. That was early on, I think. But early on, we had a couple of shots. Diamandi had a decent one, best one he's hit for probably years. A swerving shot, the goal had to palm to save it, palm it away. And Tavernier hit another one that he had to palm over the bar, so that was good. When we got the goal, that was a really nice play. I'm talking about the psychology coach, the new set piece coach. He's obviously doing something right, because yet another goal from a corner. A short corner, 1-2 between Tavernier and Magoma. Magoma puts in his left-footed cross, in-swing cross, and there's Asgard, of all people, peeling away from a couple of markers to get to about 7 yards out, right in the middle of the goal, and a lovely volley into the net. So great goal, obviously a planned move, so well done to the coach for that as well. We should have been 2-0 up a few minutes later when a free kick from Tavernier floated just outside the box, just inside the box probably, and Chermiti, eyes on it all the time, rises up, heads it in the net. Oh no, and nobody's complaining. Even the Aberdeen players are walking about disconsolately, not complaining. But oh no, it goes to a VAR check, and our friend John Beaton tells them to go and have a look at it, because, there must have been a foul on the goalkeeper. And when you see it again, it's absolute nonsense. Even your Suttons and McFaddens and all these guys, Richard Gordons, all the Rangers haters said it was a goal, it should have stood. They said, oh, his arms maybe in the way of the goalkeeper's arms as they go up. Well, if you look at it properly, Chermiti rises before the goalkeeper. He's up there, his arms are up there for leverage, and it's the goalkeeper coming from underneath him to get up to the ball, whose arms can't get any higher because Chermiti's already up there heading it on. So it's a disgraceful decision. I hope that one is highlighted in the weekly or the monthly review that Mr. Selleck, Willie Colm does every so often, because that was an absolute disgrace. So we should have been 2-0 up, weren't? So that was a disappointment. We kept going though. Second half, much the same. Some players were actually a bit better. Likes of Moore came into the game more often, did a few decent runs, taking on players, taking the fouls when they happened, of course. Gassama didn't do much the whole game, but admittedly he gained the penalty, which wrapped up the point, so at least that was something. And that was when he was on the left. He's better on the left, as we all know, but for some reason they keep playing him on the right. And the penalty, no dispute about that, apart from probably Celtic fans, because even the culprit, what's his, I can't think of his name, that's terrible, the captain anyhow, even he wandered away, kind of head down, knowing he'd made a boo-boo. It came when Gassam on the left cut in, beat one guy, beat another guy. He's going to beat the culprit. And when you see it from behind the goal, he sticks his legs between Gassama's legs, and one knee hits off the other knee, and that's why Gassama went down. So that's a stonewall penalty. Everybody agreed on that as well. And Tavernier dispatched it expertly. So 2-0 up, that was a game one. We had other chances, it should have been more than two actually. Chermiti was put right through on the goalkeeper one-on-one, but he hit it straight at the goalie, who saved it with his foot. A wee while after that, exactly the same situation. This time it was Moore, one-on-one. He hit it straight at the goalie. He saved it with his foot. So that was two sitters, I would have said. It should have been 4-0. Can't think of, I think there was another couple of decent chances that didn't go in as well. So it was a comfortable win, as comfortable as it can be up at Pittodrie in the evening, with a wind swirling, blowing the corner flags over practically, and the rain pelting down. A good test of our guys' mentality, as well as the skill in dealing with Aberdeen. So well done, guys. That was a really unexpected victory as far as I'm concerned. So they've done better than I expected at the beginning of December. All these tough games. The only one we failed in was at Tynecastle. We beat Celtic away, Aberdeen away, Aberdeen at home, all that kind of stuff. So well done, the guys. Onwards and upwards. We've got nice easy game in the Cup on Friday, Annan at home, and then we've got Dundee at home. In between that, we've got Ludogorets in the Europa at home. So I would expect 3 wins there. Even the European game, I expect to beat them. We'll have 2 new guys in by then, maybe even a third, who knows. So if we can win these 3, that should boost the confidence even more and keep us in a challenge for the league title, which is just ridiculous when you consider the terrible start we had with Russell Martin. So things are looking a lot better now, apart from the 2 injuries to Sterling and Barron. That's a shame. If we can just get rid of some of these players that don't contribute anything, like Matondo. Oh, he came on for 1 minute. The first minute he's played for us in over a year, would you believe? And Dowell was on the bench. These 2 have to go. And Rothwell, what happened to him being sought after by umpteen championship teams? He's just non-existent. So we've got to get rid of guys like that. And we've got one in, one almost in, and we're negotiating about another guy, a winger. So let's hope we can get him in. And I'd be quite happy with 3 new players, and the players that are there improving under the current coaching team. So very unexpected as far as I'm concerned, but a great win. Let's look forward to the easier games in the next couple of weeks, and then February, take it from there.